right, this is my, new to me, Bridgeport style knee mill. Now this thing is gonna help tremendously with the bolt together lifts, which we just talked about in the last video with the VVOR XY cross slide there. This is just gonna make life so much easier. Yeah, there's quite a few things that I have planned to use this bad boy for. The first biggest hassle is just getting this thing in here. It was rescued from a shipping container where it was being stored where I work. Had a few things wrong with it. I got it home, had to fix. They had the screw broke off in here. So I had to drill this, tap this to get this out because this is the adjuster for the forward and reverse on the automatic power down feed on the quill. We're gonna have to either buy a new quill lock lever here or we'll have to make one. Then there's a few assorted little handles like the back gear handle here we're gonna have to make something for. And then we have the brake. Now this is a 9x42 variable speed, and it is a 3 horsepower motor. So that was the other challenge. When I got this, it was wired for 443 phase. So I had to go through, rewire the motor for 223 phase. Then I wired in a VVOR VFD. Like I said, this was a 3 horsepower motor. And at 223 phase, this motor drew 9 amps, or draws 9 amps. So what I was reading with the VFDs is I needed to at least double that to get to where I needed to drive this motor. So I ended up with this 18 amp VFD. I'll put the information to it below. What was nice, since this was only drawing 18 amps, I was able just to put in a 220 amp breaker in the box, and then I just ran up there, then dropped down. So I was able to use 12 gauge wires since it was only an 18 amp circuit. And then just simply did a drop down cord to here. And I kind of wanted it out here in the open because it gives me access to both sides and I can clean around it. And it just seems to make more sense. It had a power feed on the X-axis, but it was fried, doesn't work. Got rid of that. I'll be getting a DRO for this to replace the Futaba, because the Y-axis works fine, but the X-axis only works for like 3 inches. It goes 0 to 3.281, then it resets itself. So we'll pull the scales off here and get new X and Y scales. And I'm thinking about putting scales on the knee, on the table height adjustment. And then we'll probably put one here on the quill. So yeah, pretty excited. It wasn't a whole lot of work. This thing's just awkward to move. Everything seems to work fine. I had this Hoffman box laying around here that I was going to use on the other oven, and I was going to use on that. So I ended up just using it here, getting the Hoffman box, getting the VFD mounted inside there. I still need to put some, I want to put some computer case fans on here, just sort of move air in and out of this thing. And I still need to tap into it and put a 110 circuit off here so I can run the DRO, and when I get the X-axis power feed, so I'll have some place to plug them in back here. The VFD was really easy to wire in. Your wires from your motor go down into the VFD, your power comes in, goes into the VFD, and at that point, if you want to run the machine from this guy, you can. It's just, it's not ideal doing it this way. I didn't want to mount the VFD. I've seen a couple guys mount their VFDs up here off the side on brackets, and I really didn't want that. So to get the forward and reverse working, and to just be able to turn the machine on and off from here, so I pulled the original rocker switch, which this thing was pretty goofed up. I pulled it out of the original housing here, and what I did was I just put a 3-position toggle switch right into the original housing, and it fit perfectly. Then there's just one small, since you're only basically, it's like a 5-volt signal that the VFD is setting this way, so you don't need anything of any substance to run all this. So it's just 3 wires running up here, and those 3 wires from the switch just come here into the front. So now I have, like right now the machine's off. And then I got forward, And there's reverse. I think we're going to be replacing this bearing because this machine was, like I said, it was sitting in the shipping container right next to the doors. They had the doors open, so that allowed rain, snow, because it was out there for like a year and a half to collect in this area here. So I think it just pretty much screwed up that top bearing. I see about pulling the motor off, taking it down the street. There's a guy that does electric motors not but a block and a half from me. So I was gonna take that to him and have him go through the motor, clean it up. It came with a Kurt Vise. I bought a ER32 collet set for it. I gotta clean this up yet. This is pretty much how everything looked when I got it back here. For example, this boring head looked like that. I let this thing have a little bit of a bath in Evaporust for like 45 minutes. Then I was able to get it all tore apart. And then I chucked the parts into another container of Evaporust, and I let this thing soak for 6 or 7 hours, and it went from looking like that to looking like that. That was the ER collet holder that came with it, but I need a nut. I believe this is an ER40 collet holder. And this is another little project I've done here. I wanted to see how well this thing would work with hole saws, and it did not disappoint. This here is an arbor from one of the Harbor Freight notchers. And I cut it down, and then I took it up to the old Logan, chucked it in the Logan, turned this down to fit into a collet, and then that allows me to chuck that bad boy up in there. So yeah, that was nice. Then I had a bucket of parts. I had all the hold downs, I had all these end mills, these, the boring head, all those. And I think that's it. And then the rotary table and the Kurt Vise. Really excited for the things I'm gonna be able to do with that. The best part was it was given to me. The things I have to fix on it are, it's not that bad to get the things fixed. There's gonna be a few things that, I mean, the DRO is gonna be a little pricey. I found a couple other things, but it's not like mission critical stuff. So we'll do a few videos when I get the DRO, putting the DRO on it. We're gonna make handles for this thing, do a few other little odds and end projects for it. And then one of the first things we're gonna do is revisit the clamping set that I bought for the Vevor cross slide table, because these guys here, they just don't quite fit in there. This is the 1/2-inch clamping set. Now I went with the 1/2 inch because I thought it'd be okay, because these here are 1/2-inch shoulder bolts. So, but there's just enough difference in whatever this is going on, whatever was going on there. I already milled one down, and now it goes down here, and it slides in and out freely. But we got 5 more of them to get done. Yeah, that's gonna be a little project we're gonna do here with this. We are going to revisit this. And remember how I was sort of complaining a little bit during this video when I was talking about this tubing notch, that there was no flats on here to get on it with a wrench. We are going to take this thing down to the mill. We're going to mill some wrench flats on it. I got a collet holder set coming. So we can do like the 5-sided, we can do like nuts, and then the 4-sided one where we can just do parallel flats. Speaking of parallels, and I ordered, these came in a couple days ago. Got my parallels. And then there's the rest of that collet set, which I kind of want to get a better collet set. I bought this one to get going because I'm gonna be doing a lot of learning. I got a decent set, little 2-flute end mills from Grizzly. Then I picked myself up a Mitutoyo edge finder. Yeah, lots of fun coming up for this thing. Really excited and really grateful to have acquired this piece of equipment. Like I said, this has been something I've been working towards for a while. and was just having a hard time nailing one down around here. I found 2 or 3, just wasn't happy with them. I already spent, when I got this home, I think I spent the first day, I must have put in 10 hours scrubbing on this thing. I think I got a couple pictures of when it was still in the container. I'll post them. It was snowing the day we brought it home, and it was just covered in filth, so we took it to the car wash. Then we sprayed it down with the greaser and hosed her off at the car wash before bringing her back here. I got the ram mostly clean. I got the head pretty decent. There's still more I want to clean there. Then I really need to turn my attention to the tower here, to the knee, and definitely down there on the base. I'm looking at another lathe, which the Logan is still going to come back down here, and the Logan's going to go here. And if I get the bigger lathe, it'll go here, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the Logan. And then I've got the TIG and everything set up right here. So it's kind of nice having the TIG here and that. I'm doing a lot more with the TIG. I've got pretty good with steel. Aluminum is still a struggle, but I'm getting there. So that is my Bridgeport style vertical knee mill. Like I said, really looking forward to seeing what we can do with this and how it's going to help, especially with the lifts. I really wanted it just for the lifts, especially with the bolt together ones, because I can center everything up, notch the tube, and then swap out holders and drill the holes for the cylinder cross members all in one shot, and it's all online, it's all in center, so it should really help with that. And I got some coming up here. I got some orders coming up that I'm going to use this for, just for that. So we're going to build a lift with this thing and see how it goes. I've been kind of speechless since I got it. I was really excited to get it. I got it at a bad time. I had a bunch of other things going on. I really needed to get that stuff done. I really wanted to play with this, so I was really excited to have it. But now I've got some time. I'm gonna get this thing squared away, and I've already machined some stuff a little bit, but I wanna keep learning with this thing, and I'm really happy to have it. And I really can't thank Andy enough for passing it on to the shop, because he knew it's gonna get some good use here. All right, guys, you know what to do. Smash that like button if you would for me, please. Leave a comment. Remember to hit the bell icon down in the corner so you know when I upload new content. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.